Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the school committee meeting of Monday, April 11th, 2022. Our first duty on tonight's agenda is to approve the acceptance of minutes of our meeting of March 28th, 2002. We'll be entertaining a motion.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We do have a second. All those in favor? Thank you very much. That's a vote. Seeing no one under audience, we'll move on to reports. We have monthly reports for the month of March. We'll be looking for approval of 4 reports. We have reports from administrators, guidance, nurse, and pupil personnel services. We'll be entertaining 4 motions.
4 motions to approve.
We have 4 motions to approve. Do we have 4 seconds?
4 seconds.
We do. Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you very much. Next on this evening's agenda, for your information, are our school newspapers. We have school newsletters, sort of similar to a newspaper in the sense of how informative they are. Again, we always say it, and I'll say it always again, they're so well put together, it gives us a chance, certainly as school committee members, to have these all together in print, to see what are happening in our district, all the awesome things that our kids are doing in their classes. So I know those of you that have kids in schools that do get these from your individual schools, take the time to check them out because they're worth it. There's a lot of great stuff packed in there. Next up, item C, under building rentals for this evening. It's great to see this time of year, this list getting longer and longer and longer, particularly after the last year and a half when it was relatively short due to everything we were going through, but good to see our building in use and our community making good use of it. Moving on. Under old business, we have a Phelps Elementary School update. Ms. Davidson, do you have anything for us on that?
I would just like to say that today we had a meeting for furniture to finalize some of the color schemes, the furniture count, what is needed in each classroom, and there was a group of about 8 of us, and then that we all kind of agreed that everything looked great, and that's going off to about 15 teachers that have been a part of the decision-making process since the beginning. We've received their input numerous times, and hopefully that order can be placed in the next couple of weeks just because of all the COVID delays. The furniture needs to be in by June 1st to be here on time for opening. So hopefully we can get the order placed by then. And the building project is on schedule still. That's all I have to report.
Great. Yeah, there's so many things involved aside from just the brick and mortar of creating a structure of a building. It's all the furniture that's in it. It's all the equipment that's needed. So there's a lot of moving parts. So thank you for the update. Any questions from our colleagues on the committee about the project? Anything that you need to share this evening, Dr.
Nothing to add.
Great. All right. Well, thanks very much. Thank you, Mrs. Davidson. Next up, under old business, completed fundraisers. We do have one completed fundraiser. The Eston School PAC was able to raise $755.83 for Hilliard's candy bar sales. That's a lot of sugared up kids or adults, either way. Great job for the Eston School PAC. Moving on, next up, under old business, item C, we have our school calendar for 2022 and 2023. This is the second reading. Dr. Cron, do you have anything that you'd like to highlight about it? And do you have a recommendation about it?
I recommend that we adopt the calendar as drafted.
Okay, great. Any questions or comments from the committee about the calendar? Okay, great. We look for a motion to approve the 2022-23 school calendar.
Motion to approve the school calendar for 2022 to 2023.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
A second.
We have a second. All those in favor? Thanks very much. There's the calendar for next year. Next up on tonight's agenda, we have a request for fundraisers coming up for September and June. The Rogers Middle School PAC is going to be having a Name That Stage raffle in April. The Rockland High School is, the class of 2025 is going to have a wireless phone charger sale in April 2022, which will be great for me because those disappear in my house on the regular. Rockland High School Consumer Science will be selling smoothies at the Art Festival. The money will be raised for the food pantry on May 4th and 5th of 2022. Track and Field will be doing 2 fundraisers, gold cards, April and May, and a funky, chunky popcorn for 2 weeks. Man, that sounds pretty good. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fundraisers that we'll be looking for approval on. We'll be looking for 4 motions to approve.
5 motions to approve?
We have 5 motions to approve. Do we have 5 seconds?
5 seconds.
All those in favor, thank you very much. That's a vote. Next up, under new business, we have a request for school choice. Dr. Cron, would you like to talk about this?
I recommend that we once again participate in school choice. I think it brings a lot to our district. Diversity, it's nice to have kids from other communities, surrounding communities who come here for various reasons. So I recommend that we adopt, once again, school choice for the district.
I've had school choice for quite a number of years here, and from what I can gather, it's been rather successful. It's created a lot of opportunity for the kids that have utilized the great programs and curriculum that we have here in Rockland schools. And for us, like you said, it's provided a little bit of diversity in people from other towns and different places, from different walks, to be able to include in our student community. So I absolutely support it. Is there anybody else that has any questions or comments about it? Okay, so we'll be looking for a motion to approve school choice.
Motion to approve?
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second that motion?
We do. All those in favor? Thank you. That is a vote. Next, under item C, we have a request for AP European History textbook. And we have Mr. McAllister here with us. Welcome, Mr. McAllister.
Good evening.
Mr. McAllister is the History and Social Science Department head.
Light reading.
Great.
How are you? Welcome. Thank you.
We are looking to set up an AP European History class for next year, which we're really excited about. It's going to be offered to sophomores, juniors, and seniors. The nice thing about AP courses is that College Board has already gone through the vetting process with the textbooks, so we know that these textbooks can match up with the standards. They are written thematically, and they also have historical thinking skills written within them as well. The textbook that we're looking for approval on is the Orange McKay textbook. That is the textbook that we feel is the most suitable for our students. Throughout the textbook, they have primary and secondary sources. All the questions that are written within the textbook match up with questions that the students might see on the AP exam, so we thought that that was the most valuable textbook. The second textbook, the black textbook there, is just like the Orange Perry book. It's also a fantastic textbook. The only issue with that book is that it's going to be out of print in the next year or so. So down the line, if we do need more textbooks in the future, or if we expand the size of the class, they might be a little bit difficult to come by. And the third textbook, the Merriman textbook, which is the blue one there, I really like that textbook, but I think it might be a little too advanced for maybe some of our sophomore students. It's written more like a historical novel, so it's really a smooth read, but it doesn't come with all of the secondary and primary sources within it. So it might be suitable for maybe the seniors if this was a senior class, but seeing as we have sophomores that are also going to be taking that course, I think it might be a little bit of a reach for them, but it also is a fantastic book. And I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has of any of those books. I also added in the packets, if you don't have it already, the quotes from each of the publishers in there as well. You might notice with the Perry textbook, the orange textbook, we made a bid for 30 textbooks, because if you order 30, all the supplementary material comes free. The other publishers didn't have a minimum number, so I only capped those out at 25, seeing as we're only looking for a classroom set. We're not looking to have each student with their own individual textbook.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. McAllister. Any questions from my colleagues? Mrs. Maroney.
Is this a new class that we're having at the, I
Yes.
missed what you
Yes, it
said.
is.
It is a new
Yep.
class, so that's why we're buying a new book.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Right now, we have AP US History, we have AP Microeconomics, and we also have AP Psychology. So this would be a fourth AP for History, Social Sciences, but it would be our second History Advanced Place class. It would also give students at the sophomore level an opportunity to experience what it's like to be in that college setting. So we think it has value not only for those sophomores, but can also help to establish an AP track for all of our students.
Excellent. Thank you.
Anyone else?
The recommended textbook, how much is that aligned to the European history that they're taking as a freshman?
So because College Board has already gone through the vetting process, it does align perfectly. What I liked about the textbook is that it's written thematically, and throughout the textbook, they offer the questions using historical thinking skills, which are measured on the AP assessment that the students would be taking in May. So that's why we found that textbook to be the most valuable as far as the content, as well as the themes and the skills.
Can you talk a little bit more about the supplemental resources that come with the set of 30 versus
Sure.
what you wouldn't be getting if you ordered one of the other books?
Absolutely. So the supplemental resources, there's always an exam reader, so it allows you to build exams specifically for the topic that you're discussing at the time. What I like best about the Perry option is the publishers provide you with hard copies as well as a thumb drive. Some of the other options only provide you with downloadable resources, which means if there's an issue with our laptop, or the laptop ends up being outdated, or we end up switching teachers, we would lose that information and have to go back and repurchase those resources. So anytime we can have a tangible hard copy in hand, it's always best, as opposed to an electronic copy.
Any other questions? Excellent. Were we looking for an approval on this for tonight, or were we looking to?
I was going to say, historically, we do a first reading, and it gives, and then we leave the books in the office.
Right.
If the five of you would like to come by and review them, it's up to you if you'd like to waive that. Do you have a time crunch on this?
I believe for the Perry textbook, the quote is good for 60 days, so I have a month.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would give us room to waive
Plenty
the
of
first
time.
reading. I
Yeah.
think it's, that practice is, best practice, giving everyone the opportunity to come in and checking it out, and if they have any questions or concerns about it. It sounds great to me, but I think it's great to be able to maybe waive the first reading, and maybe I would propose that we come back at the next meeting and have a vote to approve it then. Any thoughts?
One question. So it's been a long time since I've been in a classroom, but you said you are not planning on having a textbook for every student, just a classroom set.
Correct.
So how does that, are there supplemental electronic resources that they can use? Or, because I'm assuming it's an AP class, they'll have homework to go with it, so.
Sure. So typically what ends up happening is that the textbook can be used within the classroom, typically with group work or when they're working on breaking down larger topics into more refined subtopics. The issue with sending students home with the textbook is that oftentimes the students are not bringing them back in, or it's a little bit more difficult to be able to send those books home with the students and then get them back with very little damage done to them. So by having a classroom set, we can do the work necessary within the classroom aligned to the textbook, and then we can utilize the supplementary material at home for homework assignments, group work. It was really helpful when students were working from home the last couple of years. That gave us the opportunity to provide them with the content in hand. So we think that the classroom set should be more than sufficient moving forward.
Okay, great, thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else? Yeah, it's a
And if
great.
anyone has any questions moving forward or any concerns with the textbook, obviously feel free to contact me at the high school.
Those supplemental materials are such a great help. We all grew up in a day when the textbook was the textbook, and you had to take it home, and that was the only way you got your hands on the material. But for the chance to have these guys be able to have that homework while the physical book stays at home is such a great tool to have along with the text material.
everything revolves around the students being able to analyze primary and secondary sources, and that's how the exam is built. And so to be able to have those resources in hand and also embedded within the textbook has been really beneficial for us.
Yeah, and a great opportunity for another AP opportunity for our kids. And
Absolutely.
that's great. Outstanding.
One question before he
Please.
leaves. I know course selection in the high school is just happening, but do you have any indication of how many people are selecting?
Right now, I believe we have over 20 students enrolled.
Wow, great.
And we have 31 students enrolled in the AP US History, which means that if the students take this AP track moving forward, it gives us the opportunity for 20 to 30 students, sophomore, junior, and then possibly senior year as well, taking an AP course within History, Social Sciences. So great opportunity for those students.
Thank you. Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McAllister. Any other comments from the committee about it?
No, oh, you need a vote.
So we look to vote to waive the first meeting? Waive the first reading, sorry, at the top.
And take a vote.
Is she making a motion?
Yeah, a motion to waive the first reading.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you very much. That's a vote. Next up on tonight's agenda is item 6, our superintendent's report. Dr. Cron.
Thank you. Very briefly, I'd first like to say thank you to Noel Novio in the superintendent's office. I know that we already discussed building rentals and how many things are going on, but I counted maybe 300 different events that took place in a single month, and she's new to the office, and I think she's doing a great job, so I just wanted to give her a quick shout out for that. And then finally, I would like to congratulate Mrs. Emily Davidson and Dr. Morrow Small on their reelection to school committee.
Thank you.
And just remind the public that there's no pay involved here, that the 5 individuals that you see sitting here do this work for the town and for the school and for the kids. And I'm very grateful for all of your hard work, and congratulations on being reelected.
Thank you.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Cron. Last but not least on this evening's agenda is our public service announcements. So we'll start with Dr. Morrow Small.
I just wanted to thank everyone in the town who came out and voted and had their voice heard. I think voting is a really important way to be involved in the community and to show interest. And I'm grateful for everyone who voted for me, and I'm looking forward to continuing to do the good work that helps move our school system forward. And the more people in our community that are active and involved, the better and stronger our community is. So I just wanted to say thank you, and that's really all I have.
Thank you. Mrs. Davidson.
I would like to add that on April 28th, there is going to be an internet safety course for parents in the RHS/RMS auditorium. It's scheduled, I believe, for a time before 7 p.m., but they haven't nailed down a specific time yet. The Spelman Oratorical is the 13th at 7 p.m. The Shamrock Classic, the students won for the first time in history, I believe. So I think next year we really need to step up our basketball skills. And then RHS Term 3 ends on 4/11, which is today. So congratulations for finishing another term. And I would also like to thank the town of Rockland for coming out on Saturday to vote. I'd also like to thank all of my voters and supporters that held signs for me on Saturday. And I'm looking forward to serving Rockland the next 3 years.
Thank you. Mrs. Hennessy.
Mrs. Harrison already mentioned the term 3 closes for the high school today, but for the middle school, report cards are available. So all parents log into Aspen and see how your students are doing. Reminder, Good Friday is coming up, no school on Friday, and April vacation is next week. So hopefully everyone has some good vacation plans, whether it's a away vacation or a staycation. Just be safe and enjoy and take that needed rest. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mrs. Maroney.
I just wanted to say congrats to Miss Davidson and Dr. Small on your win on Saturday. I'm looking forward to serving with you for another few years, and we're happy to have you here. And I was going to say the same as Jamie. It's vacation week, and I feel like we all need a little vacation right about now. So good luck and stay safe. Have fun.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
I would like to thank and congratulate every member and candidate in every election that was held in Rockland this past week. To be able to take the initiative to pull papers and to ask your peers and your neighbors to come out to vote for you, to be able to work for no pay, for, in most cases, for your community to make it better. Each and every single person that stepped up to do that, I thank them. And I encourage any person, young person or old, that has time and energy to give to their community to consider running for public office in the future. It's rewarding. You get to give back. You get to be a part of and a stake of, and the work that, important work that our community is doing. So congratulations to each person who ran. Congratulations to my colleagues seated on your right for winning your elections, and looking forward to continuing to work with you together as we have in the past to do the very best we can for Rockland Public Schools. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot tonight. With that, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
We have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second?
We do. We have a second. All those in favor? Thank you very much. Have a great night.